On paper, leaving a $250,000 salary made absolutely no sense. I had stability, career momentum, and everything immigrant parents warn you never to give up. But staying felt more dangerous than leaving. And the reason I walked away had nothing to do with lack of ambition and everything to do with having a responsibility. I'm Anthony, the founder of Nila Cares. For most of my career, I did what many immigrants do. I followed the sensible path: get a good education, get a good job, get a good salary. I've lived across Botswana, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Canada, the UK, and now India, adapting, rebuilding, and starting again each and every time. From the outside, it looked like I'd finally made it, but underneath that success, something was quietly breaking. This wasn't a dramatic resignation moment. There was no big argument, no burnout announcement, no sudden epiphany. It started with a familiar immigrant reality. My parents were aging in another country, like millions of NRIs. I was managing their care through WhatsApp messages, messaging relatives, neighbors, and just hoping things would be okay. And then I realized something uncomfortable, and that problem wasn't effort. It was simply not having any visibility. No matter how successful I was abroad, I still didn't know what was really happening back home. And here's the part people don't talk about enough. When you're an immigrant with a high-paying job, walking away doesn't really feel brave. It feels really, really reckless. There's no family safety net. You don't have a pension. You don't have an inheritance coming your way. Moving back home to reset, no room for romantic failures either. And yet, every time my phone buzzed with a message about my parents' health, I felt really powerless. I realized something crucial. I was optimizing for making a lot of money while ignoring the most important responsibility in my life. And that trade-off starts to feel really, really wrong. People assume quitting is the risky move. But here's what I saw clearly. Staying meant living with permanent guilt, reacting instead of planning, and kind of waiting for emergencies instead of preventing them. That's not stability, it's a deferred crisis. I didn't leave because I hated my job. I left because the problem I couldn't ignore became louder than the comfort I was standing in. Let me be clear, this wasn't fun and glamorous like people make it out to be. Nila didn't start with pitch decks, dashboards, or investor money. It started with personal calls to caregivers, long conversations with parents, and learning what actually works on the ground and getting things wrong multiple times. I wasn't trying to build a startup. I was simply trying to solve a problem that I was already living with, and that distinction really, really matters. When the problem is personal, the risk feels completely different. You're not chasing upside, you are simply trying to reduce regret. I wasn't asking, what if this fails? I was asking, what happens if I do nothing? And once you see the cost of inaction clearly, the decision makes itself. Leaving a $250,000 job didn't make me brave, it just made me honest with myself. Honest about what mattered, honest about the life I was actually building, and being honest about the kind of founder and son I wanted to be. Nila Cares exists because the problem isn't niche, it's structural, it's emotional, and it's simply growing all over the world. If you are an immigrant professional, quietly carrying this caregiving burden and this responsibility across borders, I see you. And if you're sitting in a safe job that feels misaligned, you're not ungrateful for noticing that. And if you're building something because you can't, that isn't reckless, it's simply having clarity. I'm Anthony, and this is why I left that job, and this is what we're building next.